Egypt has promising plans to develop its renewable energy and to speed up its energy transition in the coming decade. So the EU has developed, for instance, the energy sustainable energy plan for 2040 with the Egyptian government, and we see that the figures are very promising, very ambitious. But actually, it's not only about the plan. The way is too long. We have some worries about, for instance, the integration of the renewable energy in the Egyptian system. And we have also to federate all the actors in the society towards one goal, which is the energy transition. So we have to find an economic added value and a political added value for all these stakeholders. Would it be the government, the private sector, or the non-governmental institutions? Briefly, all stakeholders, the financial institutions, all of them has to find an interest in the energy transition in order to speed it up. If we don't find this added value, then we will not be able to achieve what we hope to achieve. So actually what we see as really impressive in Egypt is the number of projects that are in the pipeline with respect to the renewable energy. We see a lot of Arab investors, European investors as well, aiming at developing important amount of gigawatts in renewable energies. Also private sector projects with respect to storage, energy storage. We see this very well. So this is all is really very promising. With respect to the European Union in particular, we have, of course, a number of projects that are being implemented currently. For instance, we have signed end of last year more than 45 million euro in grants that will be blended with loans from the European financial institutions. So the grant of the European Union leverage a lot of loans from the European financial institutions. So we have basically signed two important projects. One project is about strengthening the Egyptian transmission grid, which is everywhere in the world, not only in Egypt, a bottleneck to expand the production of renewable energy. So this is in the framework of NWAFI, the Nexus for Water, Food and Energy. This is an Egyptian the Egyptian program. So 35 million euro will go to this strengthening the grid. And we have also supported the establishment of a control center, a transmission control center in Alexandria, with the French Development Agency. So the French Development Agency is providing 50 million. We are providing, the EU is providing 10 million euro in grant. All the EU funds are in grants actually. And this is in addition, of course, to the large financial support program that EU is financing in Egypt. And we have in this program, the 7 billion euro program. We have disbursed the first 1 billion euro. And we are expecting to disburse another tranche of another $4 billion euro. This is based on a number of triggers. Part of the triggers are energy-related triggers. So, for instance, for the first 1 billion, the important trigger was the approval of the Egyptian energy strategies that were developed by the EU. And also something with respect to another trigger with respect to the green certificates in Egypt. So both of them were adopted and the funds were disbursed. We are thinking together now with the Egyptian government about the possibility of having more triggers to disburse more tranches in the future. Generally speaking, we are very keen to develop also a policy dialogue with the Egyptian government, which is very important. This is much more important than the investments, in order to align all stakeholders toward one objective, to speed up the energy transition in the country. So we believe that this is the best way, first to identify needs in terms of support from the EU, and second, to federate everyone around the table. Stakeholders with different interests maybe, but we have to align everyone. And also the EU has to be aligned with the Egyptian objectives and also with its own objectives in terms of Green Deal and so on.